Hey guys, I'm in Bangkok, Thailand, in front of the Royal Throne Hall at the head of Ratchadamnoen Avenue. Let's take a look down the Royal Avenue of Bangkok. It's pretty epic. Let's go. Well, the Throne Hall was a museum for a while. A wonderful museum full of amazing treasures of Thailand, all kinds of stuff. Gold, wooden objects, fabrics, absolutely stunning stuff. But it's been closed down. It's been taken back by the royal household. It's going to be repurposed. We'll find out what happens with it in the future. Over here there's a palace that is built to a kind of Italian design. I think it was for a prince, if I recall. I've been told that that place is open sometimes as a museum. Haven't managed to get in there myself though. It's been closed every time I've come past here. Alright, let's head down Ratchadamnoen Avenue, the Royal Avenue of Bangkok, Thailand. Yeah, it's a pretty epic walk through a lot of history. And a lot of foreigners don't bother coming down here for some reason. I guess you could say Thailand has a lot of highlights and most people come to Thailand for only a couple of weeks, so they don't have time to see everything. Fair enough, I guess, but like a lot of countries in Europe, Thailand has this fantastic avenue in the capital city. Over here is the first army headquarters. It's always handy to have an army right in the center of your city, around all the government and administrative type buildings, just in case. Could be handy, right? Yeah, so like I was saying, like a lot of countries, Thailand has this kind of processional avenue, and that's because the idea, the concept for this was inspired by a trip to Europe in the late 1800s by the king at the time, who was really impressed with some of the avenues he saw in Europe. And so he came back here and decided to build one as well. Something really unique about Thailand is the way they have these kind of, what would you call them, propaganda hoardings, I suppose is one way to label them, but they're very beautiful to kind of, I guess you could say, promote the monarchy. So there are not that many countries in the world today that are still monarchies. Thailand's one of the few, and from the ones I've seen, you don't usually get a lot of kind of promotion of monarchy like this as much as Thailand does it, at least. But it's always interesting to visit different countries with different kinds of governmental systems and kind of take notes on how they promote their system. Even between different types of systems, there can be some kind of similarities. It's another palace on the right here. I believe that one was made for the son of a king back in the day. But now it's the Ministry of Education. So for those who need a bit of education, or remedial education, or re-education, or whatever, could be interesting. Okay, so as you can see, lots of police up here with motorbikes. Well, lots of motorbikes, not so many police, but and lots of these interesting things here promoting the monarchical system. Interesting fountain here. So we're coming up on one of the old bridges of the old town of Bangkok. Excuse me. And yeah, the old city in Bangkok has some very nice old bridges, actually. And it crosses this canal here, which encircles the pretty much the old town, you could say. Has an electric ferry boat service that runs along it. This strange edifice across the road here is the UN building. As you can see, it's got these big concrete white planter pots outside here. Not decoration, I can assure you. There to stop people from doing naughty things with trucks and disruptive materials. Because, you know, not everyone thinks the UN is so lovely, lovely, lovely. I guess that must be the reason, right? Because otherwise you'd have to say they're just being paranoid, huh? Anyway. All right, let's not go there. The United Nations, eh? Otherwise known as the Office of Free Money. Yeah. Okay, let's head on back into the middle of the avenue here. So as you can see, a lot of important buildings along here. Royal related buildings, governmental buildings, military type buildings, a lot of police hanging around. And on the right, we've got the actual army headquarters. That's the headquarters of all of the army, not just the first army. Nice building. Pretty handy spot. Oh, you didn't see that, but it's the third army truck that's driven past here. What are they up to today, eh? Okay, on the left side, very interesting, lovely old building. The Ratchadamnoen Stadium, kickboxing stadium. Kickboxing's a national sport in Thailand. So it's right across the road from the army headquarters. Handy for after work entertainment. But unfortunately, they have double pricing, which means foreigners pay more. A lot more. It's really sad. So for that reason, I've never been in there. And I know a lot of people haven't been in there because they don't want to support that kind of thing. And it's not a huge place, so I'm sure it's fairly packed anyway. So I would say it suits the Thais quite fine that they don't have a bunch of foreigners coming in there. Anyway, I've seen a few videos. Here's the survey school, Royal Thai Survey Department. Maybe I could go in there with a clipboard and say, hello, excuse me, I'm doing a survey about survey departments around the world, and I was wondering if you would like to participate. Across the road there, the Ministry of Tourism and Sports. That's the place where you can go to complain or compliment, depending on your experience as a tourist, I suppose, maybe. See where it gets you. Okay, I'm gonna try to do something pretty silly now. I'm gonna try to run across here. Thank you, guys. His Majesty, the King of Thailand, up there. This bridge goes down to this road goes down to Rama 8 Bridge. All right, we're gonna keep on moving. See, it's just fantastic when you videotape everything, and people decide, oh, we won't run them over. Without a video camera, it's maybe 50-50, but all right, across on the left there's the Ministry of Transport. I should go and ask them if they have jaywalking regulations in Thailand. Or maybe I'd have to go to the Ministry of Silly Walks for that one. Over on the right, the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. Ah, there's another army truck. That's army truck number 4. Wonder what's in the back there. Looks empty. Or maybe a small package. Special delivery for someone, perhaps? Just from all the royalist propaganda on the avenue here, just from that side of it, it's worth a walk down here. It's quite amazing to look at. Really unique in the world. Looks like a temple entrance there. I don't remember much about the temple back in there, but I've checked all the roads all around this part of the city. Every single one. And there's a lot of interesting stuff. And who's that? Oh, another portrait of the king there, another one. And on the left we've got a portrait of the king's mother, the former queen of Thailand. So as you could see along this stretch of the avenue, there were quite a few royal portraits or photos and so on, which kind of makes sense because it connects the throne hall back there where we started with the old royal palace, which is down the other end of the avenue. As I said earlier, it's a royal processional avenue. And on the left we've got another picture of the king's mother there. Another one there. And what do we got up here? Here's a picture of the two pictures of the king's mother, the former queen there. Okay, now we're coming up on a very interesting intersection. With an old fort, one of the two remaining forts of the old fortification walls and surrounding moat of the oldest part of the city, which is across this bridge here. Here's a great little museum on the left here, this green one. Definitely recommend it. Oh look, there's a picture of the king up there. Another picture there, Golden Mount over there. It's stunning around here, isn't it? Okay. This way is quite interesting as well. Have a little walk down, and here's the canal here under the bridge. Handy to have the canal under the bridge, isn't it? You can turn right there and follow a little path along to get into the back of the Samson Road area. And this is one of these amazing old bridges I mentioned that you find in the old town. You can catch some fish in the canal there for your dinner. Might even get one with two heads if you're lucky. Here's the Queen's Gallery, art gallery. I haven't actually been in there. Looks like they're doing a bit of work on the outside. I think it's with the new MRT line. So as we cross this bridge, I want to mention when the Prayut military regime took over Thailand some years ago, there were big protests just before that happened, and police were along this road here with protesters on this side, and hand grenade was thrown and the policeman got his leg blown off. This is actually a lovely road down here, but there's construction at the moment at the intersection, so you cannot really see that, but it's a really nice road. Across the road on the left, one of the nicer temples in Thailand, or in Bangkok at least. Definitely one of the nicer ones in Thailand. And now we're coming along the midsection of the avenue. You might notice the architectural style has changed to a kind of 1930s style. This whole stretch along here was built in the 1930s by the military government of the time, and I think it looks amazing, to be honest. There's a bit of a glare, but I'm not sure how well you can pick it out, but the architecture is stunning, in my opinion. on the left, just over there, there's either in that one or this one, there's a museum, which is actually pretty cool. A lot of these buildings have been closed for years, which is hard to understand. It should be the most exclusive avenue in all of Thailand. This avenue should have all the luxury brand names, all the big famous kind of luxury item chain stores from around the world should be in these shops at the base of these buildings. But basically half of the buildings have been closed for years and just left to sit, and a lot of homeless people camp out on the steps. But in recent times there have been some signs of regeneration. The museum I mentioned back there on the left side, for example, has been around maybe about 6 years or something like that. Okay, then COVID came along, which slowed everything down. I just want to mention this famous little restaurant over there. And here we are, Democracy Monument. Actually, we're gonna cross over this side. Thank you. Do my Ministry of Silly Walks again. All right, we'll take the shortcut to the traffic. Democracy Monument. It's a monument to the memory of democracy in Thailand. Let's run across the road here. All right, we did it. So you can see a lot of people hanging out with nowhere to go. This is the restaurant I was talking about earlier. It's quite an exclusive one. Haven't tried it. Need more subscribers to try it, to justify the expense. So the Democracy Monument, the monument to democracy in Thailand. So at least they've got a monument to that kind of thing. Anyway, let's see if we can get across here. Okay, we'll get across before we... All right, this is a pretty cool road down here, but we won't go into that too much. But it's called Dinso Road and leads into Sao Ching Cha area, which in my opinion is one of the most interesting areas of Bangkok. So yeah, I've got a video I made on that area. It's really well worth checking out. I really recommend it. Here's an old map, I think, of Ayutthaya. Don't know if you can make that out, but Ayutthaya was one of the old capitals of Thailand, one of the most famous, renowned ones. Was sacked by the Burmese in the late 1800s, and then the capital was moved to Thonburi, which is the area on the other side of the Chao Phraya River, which is just down the road here. And then this side of the river was developed and made into the capital city, which it is today, Bangkok. Okay, you can see on the left they put a fence to stop people from camping out along the bottom of the building, because I do believe there are plans to do some renovation on these buildings finally after all these years. And fingers crossed that something really good might come out of that. A lot of foreigners really scratch their heads over the way things are done in Thailand. When you see a place like this that is just left to kind of fall apart for decades, when in other places it would be the main focal point of the city. But it would be fantastic if they cleaned up this avenue. It's a really impressive place. So much great architecture and history along here. So the area we just passed back there with Democracy Monument, like I said, a lot of history. There have been many protests over the years with many people killed along this stretch of the avenue. And when they had the protests before the Prayut government took power some years back, actually I lived in an apartment just to the left, a few blocks to the left. You could hear explosions in the nighttime. Usually every night a couple people would make little improvised, little kind of mini bomb, homemade grenade things and throw them at protesters. People would go past on motorbikes and so on. And here, this is a monument to student protests in the 1970s, where a very, very large number of students died. Really a tragic time in the history of Bangkok and Thailand. There's the Bangkok City Library over there, and on the left goes back into Sao Ching Cha, and on the left and to the right as well, the area that some people call Klong Lod, which I've made a video about as well. It's a very interesting area. So this stretch of Ratchadamnoen has the most homeless people, and some of them homeless or semi-homeless are looking to get a bit of money and engaging, as we say, in the world's oldest profession. And the small streets to the left behind here, as I said, that's the area people around here call Klong Lod. So if you want to know more about that, check out my Klong Lod video. It's quite fascinating, actually. It's a local working class nightlife area. But like a lot of these kind of areas in Thailand, it's quite active in the daytime as well. So it's quite interesting now that they put this fence up here, these fences up at the bottom of these buildings. Usually a lot of these people will be sprawled out under the awnings of these buildings, and it was pretty messy, I can say. It's obviously still quite messy. Now it just pushes the people a bit further out into the middle of the footpath. It's been like this since I first came to Thailand 20 years ago. So that goes back into Klong Lod. So as you can see, a lot of individuals sitting here like they're waiting for someone. Yes, so waiting for someone exactly like you. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, the mean streets of Bangkok. Life on the street, pretty tough. But this is the real deal. Like I said, 20 years ago I first came down here and it was like this then, and it's still like this. It's amazing, really. I guess you could think of it that the fact that the authorities let the people hang out here like this, maybe it's a kind of a charity in a way. Lately I've heard of some reports at least of people wanting to give these people some better chances in life and get them out of this area, which would be great, obviously. All right, we're outside the Royal Hotel here. It's a very impressive old hotel. I won't go inside there, but it looks pretty cool. Now, if you're staying on Khao San Road, you would have taken the last road that went to the left back there, the last proper road, I mean. Or you'd cross over the pedestrian intersection here and come into the other end of Khao San Road, the main backpacker street in Thailand. One of the main backpacker crossroads of the world, actually. That's the back way into Klong Lod area. So at this point, Ratchadamnoen comes along this way. It's blocked off at the moment. The Supreme Court building is just behind the trees there. And the Grand Palace down there. And the Pink Cloud Bridge, crossing the mighty Chao Phraya River just up here, goes across to the other side of the river to the Pink Cloud district. That was very kind. The guy stopped for me there. All right, we're in Sanam Luang. It's a giant park, basically a royal field used for a lot of ceremonial events. People ride bikes around in it and walk in here for exercise as well. At the moment they're using part of it as a parking lot, which seems to be a fairly new thing. And the Grand Palace in the distance there. Amazing. Okay guys, well that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed our walk along Ratchadamnoen Avenue, the Royal Avenue of Bangkok of Thailand. And like I said, it's a pretty epic place, lots of history and lots of interesting architecture and so on. So see you guys in the next one, and please subscribe and like and hit the bell button for notifications for upcoming videos, very important. And if you want to support the channel, you could always click the Buy Me a Coffee link, would be much appreciated. Thanks so much, and see you in the next one, and don't be late.